this evening's presentation, and it's nice to see a good showing of people for our first webinar of the new year. It's great seeing names here from Sweden, Finland, Ireland, Norway, Netherlands. You know, OneCoin is growing around the world at a phenomenal rate. Really, we are breaking all sorts of records. I mean, we've got now something in the region of 35,750 members, as you see here, in our pre-launch period. And pre-launch to me, by the way, is only going to last another couple of weeks, because on January the 20th is when we start mining the actual coin itself. As far as I'm concerned, at that point, we're no longer in pre-launch, we're fully launched. So at the moment, you know, for those of you who are listening to this for the first time, you know, OneCoin started enrolling people really towards the end of August last year. So in the months of September, October, November, December, and part of January, we've enrolled over 35,000 paid members. These aren't free members, these are paid members. We have 50 people as of the last week of the last year, 50 people maxing out the compensation plan. And as you know, with our compensation plan, or if you don't know, you'll find out, you can earn as much as 35,000 euros per week per position. So without any further ado, let me move on and give you our presentation and let you know really what all the excitement's all about. You know, I've been involved in this industry now for 29 years, and I've been building large organizations in different countries, even before we had the internet. I've also worked corporately and as a consultant, both in Europe and the United States. I've done product development, compensation plan development, really you name it. All round elements of this business I'm pretty familiar with. And the OneCoin to me is really one of the most exciting concepts I've seen in my 29-year career in network marketing, because really for me it checks all the boxes. And maybe by the end of this presentation, it'll check your boxes too. So let's go. You know, first thing I need to stress upon you is that I see so many people in network marketing who really just jump from one business to another, really without doing their due diligence. They get excited about something and they jump right in with both feet, which in one sense is fantastic, because of course you need to be excited. If you're not excited, it's very, very hard to make it work in this industry. But you also need to not lose your head. And so, you know, whenever anyone ever presents an opportunity to me, I kind of go through this checklist. Number one, I want to know, what is it? What is OneCoin? I also want to know who's behind it, who's running the company, what's their expertise or their experience. You know, there are several companies that I've seen in the last couple of years, and you have too, where you can't even find out who the owners are. You know, I know I could name half a dozen of them right now. And frankly, if I don't know who's running the company, for me, that's a red flag. I'm not going to join it, because if the person who's running the company is not willing to have their face and name be known, frankly, I'm concerned it's probably a scam. Is it legal? I want to know that the business or service that I'm promoting is legal, and I don't get into trouble for doing so. Is it real? What I mean by is it real is really the acid test in network marketing for me is there an opportunity to sell the product or service that we have to members of the public who are not part of the opportunity, who are not part of the marketing system? In other words, could I run around to my next door neighbor and say, you need to take a look at this, and they could actually benefit from it without joining, they could buy it or whatever? If the answer is yes, then it's a real product. How do I make money? I want to know what the business model is. And as you'll see here, we have two businesses in one that gives you incredible capital growth, and the other can give you incredible income and cash flows. I've already mentioned 35,000 euro a week. I'm sure most of us would love to be earning that kind of money. So it's certainly very achievable here in OneCoin. Is it simple? Yes, that's also important, because if it's not simple, it's not going to grow and duplicate as well and as fast as it needs to. And therefore, I need to know what my strategies are. What am I going to get out of this in the next, say, 3 or 4 months? What do I want to get out of it in the next 1 to 2 years? And what are my exits? Again, how do I take my money out? Because I keep telling people, if you can't spend it, it's not real. So what is one? Well, OneCoin is a new type of cryptocurrency. Now you may be running across some new terminology this evening, but don't worry, it's really not that complicated. You know, every industry has its own jargon, and the cryptocurrency industry has its own as well. And so I'll explain it as we go. Cryptocurrency simply means, well, what's cryptography? Basically, it's a puzzle, isn't it? So a cryptocurrency is a currency that is created on using mathematics, and it's really about solving a mathematical puzzle or algorithm, and that's how you get the coins or the currency in this case. It's born on the success of Bitcoin, which was the very first cryptocurrency. More and more people are familiar with Bitcoin or have heard of it. To be frank, when I first heard of Bitcoin, which is nearly 4 years ago now, I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was some new form of payment system like PayPal. I really did not have a clue that there was money to be made out of it. Now I do, by the way, and that's why I'm saying, you know, OneCoin checks all the boxes for me. It, you know, the fact that it's digital, there's no product to ship, there's no issues with warehouses and customs and product approvals, all these kinds of issues. You know, that's why we're spreading so fast all around the world, because it's based upon a digital product. OneCoin is not pre-mined. In other words, we didn't go out and create lots of coins or currency. And as you'll find out, OneCoin is not even a coin business. OneCoin actually is an online education business, and the coins are a benefit our members get for joining. And of course, our members are the people who, like yourselves, who get an opportunity to mine the coins and keep all the profits. Now, in cryptocurrency, the term mining is, I mean, it's not like gold mining where you just take a shovel and go and dig some gold. There's nothing physical going on. Mining simply means using a computer to crack the code or the puzzle or the algorithm. Every time it gets a solution, gets an answer, that's called a coin. And that's stored digitally like a string of numbers and letters, and that is really what the currency is. But if you think about it, if you look at the money in your pocket, pull a banknote out from your pocket printed by your central bank, that's also simply a digital number because it's got a serial number on it. It just so happens that it's printed on a piece of paper. So really that's what a currency is, and a cryptocurrency is simply a new type of commodity that has been created using advanced mathematical principles. OneCoin will be traded on a public exchange. Again, this goes to the heart of the matter. If it can be traded on a public exchange, in other words, sold to members of the public, that means it's by default a real product. It's not just some kind of MLM money game. It's also a highly lucrative and very simple and fair compensation plan that we have here. And as you'll see, it has a lot of the it doesn't have actually a lot of the catches that you see with a lot of other plans. So let me explain quickly what the algorithm's all about, because again, I didn't understand this. You know, I've been involved in this industry, as I say, a long time. And, you know, I've developed 3 different skincare lines. I've developed nutritional products. I've been involved in selling jewelry, perfume, you name it, a whole range of different products and services. So the idea of cryptocurrency was a totally novel one to me about 5 or 6 months ago. When they asked me to join OneCoin and become president of the company. So I had a quick learning curve, but once I learned, I really got excited. And so let's explain really what this algorithm is, because I couldn't get my head around this at first. I thought, how could one puzzle or one formula have so many different solutions? Well, first thing you know with a cryptocurrency is to make it a real cryptocurrency and legal and valuable, it has an algorithm that has a fixed or finite number or quantity of solutions. Each time you find one, it's called a coin. So money games, for example, doesn't have any kind of fixed quantity because they just keep making as much as they want. So in OneCoin's case, our algorithm has the ability to create exactly 2.1 billion coins or answers. Bitcoin, which I mentioned earlier, has the ability to create exactly 21 million coins. You can't change it. You know, once you start mining the coin, the mathematics and the code cannot be changed. We can't turn around suddenly and say, wow, this is going really well. Instead of 2.1 billion, why don't we create 5 billion? It doesn't work that way because the code is fixed. And here's an example of how that might work. Let's suppose I just wanted to create a new cryptocurrency with just 3 coins, no more. As I said, Bitcoin is 21 million. One coin is 2.1 billion, but I want to create a new one with just 3 coins. I would say, okay, here's my algorithm or my puzzle. How do I make the number 5? And then the computer would go to work and start looking for answers. And then it says, okay, 3 plus 2 equals 5. There's your first answer. 4 plus 1 also equals 5. There's your second answer. 5 plus 0 also equals 5. There's your third answer. So each one of those is a coin. There are no other answers. I mean, of course, there may be some cryptic ones, but in basic mathematics, those are the 3 possible ways of making the number 5. And so that's how an algorithm works. And in our case, you can imagine what it must look like to yield 2.1 billion answers. So Bitcoin, let's look at the history of Bitcoin. I'm going to use this as a frame of reference. Bitcoin started around 6 years ago. In fact, the first coins were mined in January 2009. And when they started mining the coins, they were selling them at valued at 10 cents, US cents. And as you can see here, for the first 2.5 years, nothing much happened because, frankly, no one had ever heard about it. The only people who even knew what Bitcoin was were probably just computer geeks. They'd come across this code on the internet, which is an open source code that anyone could go and mine, and they probably thought it was a bit of fun, a bit of laugh to go and mine it. They probably didn't realize that it had any value or it could rise in value. But as you can see here, within 2.5 years, it actually rose to $35. So from 10 cents to $35 is a huge jump. I don't know any other investment out there, whether it's real estate or gold or silver or stocks and shares, anything else out there that can rise 350 times in value in 2.5 years. But it didn't stop there. Look, a year ago, it rose to $1,200 because what happened around this time here, as you can see, is a lot of speculators got involved. Suddenly, people started to hear about Bitcoin. Suddenly, everyone, it was, the media was talking about it. So the speculators got involved. And of course, when anything ever rises so sharply like this, it will always fall. And at the moment, Bitcoin is hovering here around the $300 to $350 range per coin. Regardless, though, anyone who got in the first 3 or 4 years made an absolute fortune. There's no doubt about it. Millionaires were made and multimillionaires. But in my opinion, it's probably too late to make the big money in Bitcoin now. I think the real growth has happened. I think it may climb steadily over the next couple of years, but I don't think it's the dramatic growth is there that it was. In any event, they've now mined 50% of the coins. They found 50% of the solutions, and in cryptocurrency, it gets successively harder to find the rest. In fact, here's a graph that shows you this. See, in the beginning, with any kind of cryptocurrency, because it's based upon mathematics, in the beginning, you find a lot of answers or coins very easily. As you successively find more and more of them, the computer finds it harder to find the remaining ones. So what happens is the mining difficulty increases. When the mining difficulty increases, that means you need more resources. So now you need bigger and more powerful servers, you need more electricity. By the way, one of the biggest single costs of mining a cryptocurrency is your electricity bill. And you've got huge powerful servers running 24 hours a day. And so as this happens, the price also goes up. It's a mathematical certainty. What will also happen in our case is, which Bitcoin didn't have, is we already do have a growing number of members or miners who will also be pushing this price up dramatically, because the more people around the world who join OneCoin and start mining the coin will actually add to the mining difficulty, increasing the price and therefore the profitability for everybody involved. When you started mining Bitcoins in 2009, you could mine one coin in 1 hour using a simple laptop. Now, in order to mine Bitcoins, you need massive server farms, massive resources, and individuals can't do it. They have to join mining pools, and even then, the average investor in Bitcoin is taking about 450 days, a year and a half, to become profitable. So It's hard to make money in Bitcoin now, in my opinion. Also, what's hard to, and I think you need to be aware of this, there are many companies out there, especially MLM companies, that claim to be Bitcoin mining pools. And they start telling you, oh, you join our 2x2 rollover matrix or whatever system they've got, and we'll give you returns in the first 30 days or 60 days or whatever, and you're all going to get a share of a Bitcoin. I think you need to use some common sense here, and it's buyer beware. If they're offering you returns on Bitcoins in less than 450 days, the chances are they don't have a real business. They're probably offering you some kind of Ponzi scheme, because it's the only way they can give you returns any sooner, because it's taking too long for miners to get their money back in Bitcoin. So again, a bit of caveat emptor there for you. True story. The first offline recorded Bitcoin transaction. 2010, a man bought a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoins. Probably a computer programmer, no doubt, who thought, well, okay, I'll test this and see if I can buy a pizza with it. And I would imagine that the conversation with the pizza restaurant owner went something like this. I'd like to buy a pizza. Well, yes, sir, what would you like? I'd like... I don't know what that is, but it looks exotic, and I want to pay with Bitcoins. What? What? Well, I'll give you 1,000 Bitcoins. They're worth, so much. Okay, fine, I'll do. Now that pizza would be worth, actually, when this slide was done, I need to change it. When this slide was done, it was $7 million, but the price of Bitcoins has come down since then. But that pizza would still be worth $3.5 million, making it the most expensive pizza in the world. And I would say that the moral here is, do not use or spend your OneCoins too soon or too early in their growth and in their life, because they will rise in value. So why is OneCoin better than Bitcoin? First thing I need to stress is that we are not a copy of Bitcoin. We are not another Bitcoin clone. There are many out there. In fact, there are between 400 and 500 copies of Bitcoin where they've just taken the Bitcoin algorithm, tweaked it a little bit, and said, here's a new currency. That's not what we're about. We actually have a much more advanced and more secure algorithm. If you think about it, a lot happens in 6 years. Technology changes. We have a smaller denomination. 2.1 billion coins versus 21 million. So we'll have a lot more in circulation than Bitcoin. And so when Bitcoin rose to $1,200 per coin, it really put it out of reach of most people. And that's what happens when you don't have a lot in circulation also. The one exchange will have a single point of exchange to the outside world, unlike Bitcoin, which, because nobody controls it or manages the business, so to speak, it's sold on multiple exchanges around the world, all sadly at different rates. Well, of course, that's horrible for volatility as well. And, the last thing you want in a useful currency is volatility. You need liquidity, and you need stability. We have a dedicated management team responsible for the strategy and branding of the OneCoin and attracting merchants and vendors who will use the OneCoin versus the decentralized approach of Bitcoin that really has no one giving it any kind of strategic guidance. OneCoin is mined in mining pools from the start. It doesn't make any difference. There's no advantage if your next door neighbor has a more powerful computer than you do. He cannot mine any more coins, because we're all doing it as part of a kind of teamwork, really. But I must stress, the company, OneCoin Limited, does not own any coins. The coins will all be owned by the members who actually mine them. Now, another area where we improved on Bitcoin is that we use KYC. KYC stands for Know Your Customer. Okay, and this is really banking protocol that's been in place now since 2001. Every bank has to know their customer. You can't open a bank account now without showing your passport and so on. And this really is help us tremendously in the long run, because a lot of people got excited about Bitcoin because they said, wow, this is an amazing thing, a new currency, a new type of currency that, number one, it's outside government control. That's wonderful. Number two, it's anonymous. Nobody knows who owns it. The problem with that is the people who got most excited by that were the criminals and the drug dealers, because they thought, this is great, this is anonymous, we can start buying and selling drugs on the internet. which caused the FBI to step in and become the single biggest owner of Bitcoin to date. That's another reason why the price is dropping in Bitcoin, because they're dumping a lot of the confiscated coins on the market right now. So having KYC means that, number one, vendors and institutions will be much happier to deal with us because there's no money laundering allegations or possibilities. And also, it gives you security as well, in the sense that because we have a centralized database that will have a record of who owns which coins, which serial numbers, even if your e-wallet were to be hacked, as you've probably heard, people's e-wallets and accounts have been hacked in Bitcoin and they lose their Bitcoins. But if it happened here, even if it were able to happen here, you could not lose your OneCoins because they would be traceable, and that code, that coin, is tied to you. So even if they tried to spend them, they wouldn't be able to without cross-referencing the central database. So it's actually much more secure for members as well. So there's a whole host of reasons why we're not just similar to Bitcoin, but actually far better than Bitcoin. Who's behind the company? Very important question. Well, the person running the company is Dr. Ruja Ignatova. Dr. Ruja, actually, as you can see here, she has a master's in law from Oxford, a master's in economics from Constance, a PhD in law from Oxford and Constance. So she has a huge background in both law and finance. In fact, after university, she joined McKinsey & Company, the big management consultants specializing in corporate banking, private equity, asset management, and so on. So this lady has huge experience and expertise in the kind of areas which are necessary for someone running a cryptocurrency business in terms of finances and law. You can also see here she's worked with Sberbank, UniCredit, Allianz, Raiffeisen, and Deutsche Bank. So major banks she's worked with. So she has huge banking connections, and also, as you can see, a rather important and prestigious reputation that she wants to protect. So, she's not going to be the kind of person who's willing to taint her name with something that's less than kosher, so to speak. It has to be, she can't get involved in any kind of scams or scandals. She was actually awarded Businesswoman of the Year, not once, but twice in Bulgaria. I was at the last awards just a couple of weeks ago in Sofia. She's also worked with other cryptocurrency companies and published 2 books, one in German and one in Chinese. Some people question her credentials, so we've actually shown here her awards and certificates. There's a University of Oxford master's degree. And of course, here are her books, one in German and one in Chinese. This is myself. People want to know who I am. Well, I've been around the industry, as I said, since 1985, 29 years. Built large organizations. My first company was Herbalife, and then I built organizations with a company called Larome and Lifestyles in the UK. I developed skincare lines. If you've heard of Unicity, I actually created the first skincare line for Enrich, which was the forerunner to Unicity, as their VP of distributor training, etc. And I've also worked corporately with several US companies, helping them develop their overseas strategy and operations in Europe and so on. I was actually consulted with by Demi Moore, the actress, in 2008 she flew over to meet me in Paris she wanted to talk about a new skincare line she was planning to put together. So this is me and this is my background. As you can see, I've got a lot of experience in physical products, skincare, nutrition, and things like that. And cryptocurrency is new for me. I don't pretend that I'm an expert on banking, but you know what? I don't have to be. You don't have to be, because that's Dr. Ruja's job. My skills are transferable, and so are yours. It really doesn't matter what you've done before in network marketing. What you do, the function you do, is the same. You're building relationships and building teams and training and helping people. So what about the company structure? Well, OneCoin itself is actually a Gibraltar company. Gibraltar, as you know, is an offshore tax-efficient state to the south of Spain. But actually, a lot of our operations and IT are run from Sofia in Bulgaria, where we have a team of nearly 40 people now. 2 are different IT teams, not one. One IT team deals with the networking and the website and so on. The other one is pure mathematicians. They only deal with the cryptocurrency. As I said earlier, you could be forgiven for thinking that we sell coins. We do not, just because the name of the company is OneCoin. In fact, OneCoin is a sales and marketing company for online education. Okay, when people join us, they're buying an online training or education package, and that's what triggers all the commissions and bonuses in the plan. As you can see here is a legal opinion letter from a German law firm addressed to our company here in Gibraltar. And if you can, in fact, let me bring up the original. It's probably better because you can download this from your back office. It talks about the legality of cryptocurrency generally, but also it says, in our opinion, the OneCoin is a legitimate product. Well, what they're really saying is they've had an opportunity to examine the source code and the algorithm and satisfy themselves that it's exactly what we say it is. And there they go and give a list of all the countries around the world where holding, buying and selling cryptocurrency is legal. And in fact, the only place I'm aware of that it's not legal is Iceland and possibly Ecuador. Two countries I've got no plans to visit anytime soon anyway, so I'm not worried about that. In fact, to show the legality, you can see here it's already traded on Wall Street, and I think de facto, if the US government allows them to buy and sell and trade cryptocurrency on Wall Street and therefore tax their capital gains, de facto that becomes legal. In fact, do you know who these guys are? Well, if you saw the movie The Social Network about Facebook, these are the two twins who were at university with Mark Zuckerberg, and they're the ones who sued him because they said he stole their idea for Facebook. They made millions out of that, and now it looks like they've invested in their own Bitcoin trust, because obviously they see, as do many other people, that cryptocurrencies are the future of money. One of the reasons they're the future of money is they cannot suffer from inflation. Unlike the money in your pocket from your central bank, where your government simply prints more. Do you realize, by the way, that in December, the US Federal Reserve finally announced that they were stopping quantitative easing? I can hardly even say the word. QE. QE is a fancy name for printing money, which used to be known as inflation. They printed in 5 years 4.5 trillion US dollars. Now, can you imagine what that has actually done to the value of the dollar in people's pockets? It's basically decimated it. So, you know, this cannot happen with a cryptocurrency, and why people are excited by cryptocurrencies, because it's based upon supply and demand. And, you know, you don't have to be an economics major to realize this. If you've got something that has a fixed quantity and limited supply, but increasing demand, value can only go up. This here is called a blockchain. And this is a website, blockchain.info. You can look this up, blockchain.info. And this is a particular blockchain info site that gives you all the statistics you need to know on Bitcoin. It shows you all these green boxes here. Every second, all the coins that are being mined, sold, bought, and so on. So everything you need to know about Bitcoin is here, because with a cryptocurrency, in order for it to be legitimate, it also has to be transparent. We'll have something similar to this in our back office once we start mining the coins on January the 20th. As I say, our core activity is online education. And who better to be trained by than someone who's got 2 master's degrees and a PhD. She's put together an interactive training program in 5 levels, depending on whether you come in with a starter package for 100 euros, a trader package for 500 euros, all the way up to tycoon trader package for 5,000 euros, all gets you different levels of education. However, what's key here is with each package you get free tokens. People say, well, what are tokens? Well, think of them in terms of mining permits, okay? If you were given the mining permits to a gold mine, for example, you have a choice. You can either use those permits to mine the gold itself, or you can sell them to someone else and let them mine the gold, and you just take the quick cash. That's really what the tokens are about. They're enabling you to practice what you've been learning in the online One Academy, but also you have a choice. You can either sell your tokens to other members and cash out quickly for some short-term, maybe quick money, but maybe not big money, or you can hold on to them and use them towards mining the OneCoin itself. As you'll see through my presentation, the people who use them towards mining the coins are the ones who will make the bigger money, in my opinion. So here you are, you can use the tokens to buy slots for mining for one coin. So again, answering the question, what can I do with tokens? Well, you can sell them. Number one, short-term thinking, you can cash out, no problem. And that's good to know. It's good to know that people can always cash out if they wish. But you can keep them and split your portfolio. Now that's important. We have 5 packages. All five of them split. The first 4 of them will split 1 time. The top package, the Tycoon Trader, will split 2 times. Okay. When we say split, what that means is it doubles the quantity of tokens in your portfolio. That means you can make much, much more money and give you much more leverage in mining the one coin itself. So keep the tokens, let them split, and join the mining pools, because the more tokens you acquire, the more coins you're going to be able to mine. And that's, in my opinion, where you're going to get the real capital growth over the next 1 to 5 years. In fact, here's a mathematical, based upon mathematical modeling, this is where Dr. Ruja expects the value of the one coin to be within the first year. Even if we're not very successful at it, it should be around €2.50. If we're going on track as we are now, it'll probably be up around €5 from a starting point next week of €0.5. So if we go from €0.5 to €5, that's a 10-fold increase in the space of 1 year. Now, what I'd like to do is, I'm going to create a slide for this. I don't have one right now, so I just want you to bear with me. And if you've got a pen and paper, write this down. With the different packages you get, everyone gets tokens. The top package is the Tycoon Trader package, which costs €5,000 and gets you €5,000 of education. With that, you get 60,000 tokens. Now, you can trade these tokens on our internal trading platform and sell them to other members. And in fact, even at the starting price of 10 cents, euro cents, you would make €6,000, which is more than it costs you to buy your package. So you've really lost nothing. However, you could have waited until the token price rose to 20 cents and sold it, all your tokens, and made €12,000. However, once it reached 12 cents, what happened was it split. And it went back down to 11 cents. So instead of the 60,000 tokens you get as a Tycoon Trader, if you hadn't sold, you would now have 120,000 tokens. The next split will probably come sometime in February. So as a Tycoon, you get to split 2 times. So those 120 will become 240,000 tokens. Now, if you use all 240,000 tokens towards mining the one coin instead of selling them, you'll find that it costs 500 tokens to join a mining pool. So you will get 5 tokens will get you one coin. So if you take 240,000 tokens and divide it by 5, you get the figure 48,000. That means that you can mine 48,000 coins. Now, our algorithm, by the way, allows us to mine 60,000 coins an hour. So, getting your 48,000 coins, your share of it, should be quite easy. So 48,000 coins at €0.5 or 50 cents each is a €24,000 portfolio value, which you could have, let's say 3 months from now, from a starting point of only €5,000 with your Tycoon package. So you buy a Tycoon Trader for €5,000, you get 60,000 tokens. They split twice over the course of the next 3 to 4 months. You use all of those to mine the coins. You end up with 24,000. And that 24,000 is based upon the starting price of €0.5. If you hold on to them, and if we hit €5 in value a year from now, your 24,000 becomes €240,000 in value. Now, what if we don't hit €5? What if we only hit €2.50? You're still making €120,000. This is phenomenal capital growth. Now, you can sell at any time, and some people will. They're going to want to cash out, get some money, maybe get back their initial investment, their initial costs, and roll over the rest, and they're welcome to do that. But I'm telling you, in my opinion, the ones who sit it out and hold and wait for the value to rise, because remember, we've got people joining this company all around the world every day, probably 1,000 to 2,000 a day, that's going to help push this price up. The more you sit it out and wait, the more money you're going to make. Let's look at our 3-year projection. Dr. Ruja reckons that at the end of 3 years, we could be looking at €100 value per coin from a starting point of €0.50. That means that your €24,000 portfolio value here could be worth €4.8 million at this point. Okay, it's very hard drawing with a mouse. There you go. And that is simply from one package. That's simply from one Tycoon Trader package. Is there any wonder that some people are buying not 3, 30? You know, I know one person who's bought 30 of these packages. So, you know, and by the way, with our plan, you can have as many positions or usernames or packages as you wish. There's a screenshot of our trading platform. So you'll be able to trade your tokens, trade your OneCoins, also trade your Aurum Gold coins, something I haven't even told you about yet, something you get free with your package. This is the split barometer. And as this reaches 100%, the market splits, the price goes down, and you start over again, but you've got double the quantity. So this is really how our bespoke trading platform works. Here's a slide showing you different strategies. A short-term strategy is someone who will just sell all their tokens as soon as they can, and they could still make great money. Your tokens, by the way, are escrowed for the first 60 days. You cannot sell them for the first 60 days. However, you will be able to use them towards mining. So that's very exciting to know. Long-term strategy are people who don't sell their tokens. They actually use all their tokens and acquire more and maximize the profits by joining the mining pools. As you can see, this is the kind of returns you could get over, say, 2 years with this strategy. The balance strategy is really for people who sell a few and roll over the rest. Some people call it playing with house money. So you mitigated your costs, your exposure, and you roll over your profits. Everything else there is pure profit. How do we create profit? How do we create value for members? Well, in the beginning, you've got speculation. That's people get in, they want to buy and sell. You also have people who get in at the beginning. We call this the value store. These are the ones who don't buy and sell, they just buy and hold. And they're looking for constant linear growth. And as you can see, maybe a year from now, we get the third area, which is what we call utility. Utility simply means finding ways for you to use the coin. In other words, finding ways for you to exchange it, to use it to purchase goods and services, and so on. And we have all of these soon ready. And of course, the utility validates the other two areas, in my opinion, because again, without the ability to spend it and use it, then these other two areas would simply just become academics, just a money. So utility makes it all real. So lastly on this subject, to recap, we're saying that OneCoin is innovative. It's not just another Bitcoin. It's secured. It's real cryptocurrency. It's not a money game. It will be 100% mined by members. Profit stays with the members. You'll be joining a pool of miners, so you don't need to invest in huge servers and so on. And that mining, that real-time blockchain will be shown live in your back office. And just remember this, with any cryptocurrency, in the beginning, you profit from the low mining price and difficulty. So you cannot lose. Really, as long as it goes up price, you cannot lose. And it's likely to go up in price simply because, well, we've got thousands of people joining every day wanting to mine it. That's a good enough reason. And it will be traded on a public exchange. So let's talk very quickly about the compensation plan. How do you see? I've spoken to you a lot at length about your capital growth. Let's talk very quickly about cash flow income. See, I don't think you should be using your OneCoin profits to live off. I think you should use those as your nest egg. If you want to pay your bills, my opinion is go out and build a business. If you want to pay your bills, go out and make money from the network marketing angle. And of course, we have 5 different packages, all with different levels of training and all at different prices. And it's these packages that pays all of the commissions and bonuses in the plan. Now, if you're a networker, one of the first things you'll notice is that our BV or bonus value is equal to our price. You know, unlike many companies that might say, well, look, we'll charge you €100, but we only pay you BV on 60% of that. We pay 1-to-1, 100% BV. As you see here, every package gets free tokens. The Tycoon Trader, as you can see, is the best return on investment, best value for money, and gives you most profitability. Every package also gets the free Aurum Gold coins. I'm not going to go into that great length tonight. The Aurum Gold coins is a hybrid cryptocurrency where they mine it, and it's really a partner company, and they back up every coin with a milligram of pure gold, and you get this free as your thank you gift from the company for joining. The one card is just one of the means that you can get paid your commissions. So let's talk about the Tycoon Trader for one, and the profitability of the network marketing plan. First area of income, by the way, this is a simple plan. It's so simple I can be done in like 3 minutes with this. You get a 10% direct sales bonus. Anyone you sponsor, whatever package they buy, you get 10%. Quite simple. You sponsor me, I buy a Tycoon package, you get 500 euros. Really dead simple. And why will I buy a Tycoon package? Because I want to make the most return, the most money. So it's actually quite an easy sell. In fact, I've learned in my network marketing career that it takes the same amount of time to sell someone a 5,000 euro package as it takes to sell them a 50 euro package. But of course, it's a hell of a lot more profitable. Network bonus, that's another name for that is binary. It's a weak leg binary, no qualification needed. It's a non-qualifying weak leg binary. You get paid 10% of all the sales in your weaker leg. You don't have to put one on the left and one on the right to activate or qualify. In fact, once you've paid your 30 euros activation fee, your position is qualified and active. You don't have to buy product every month. It's 10% of all the sales that happen in your weaker leg. So again, if I'm in your weaker leg and I buy a Tycoon package, you're still making 500 euros on one sale. There aren't many binaries out there that can make you 500 euros just in the binary on one sale. Matching bonus, very, very simple. It's based upon your package. So Tycoon gets you 4 levels of matching bonus. The only qualification here is 2 sales, one on the left and one on the right of a trader package, which is 500 euros or higher. So I'm going to concentrate again on Tycoon package, but as you can see, they all packages up to trader or trader upwards get matching bonus, but different levels. So Tycoon gets you the most. I've done a little table here just to show you an example, and the assumption here is that people are only making 100 euros a week in the network bonus or binary, and the other assumption, of course, is that you're qualified. See, as you see here, if you build a very simple organization, and to me, this is kindergarten stuff. You find 2 people, help them find 2, help them find 2 through 4 levels, is a total of 30 people. You're going to make easily 620 euros per week in matching bonus on that baby organization, okay? Of course, all the other packages still get matching bonus, but it's that 4th level where it really makes a difference. But, you know, this is below average. In our industry, the average will sponsor somewhere between 2 and 3 people. So let's imagine you now go slightly above average and do 50% more work. You find 3, help them find 3, help them find 3. Your matching bonus alone could go up to nearly 3,000 euros a week on that simple proposition of the average just making 100 euros. Now, we already have some people maxing out their position in the compensation plan just on their matching bonus alone, because when we say maxing out or capping, the amount that each position can earn depends on the cost of the position or cost of the package. So if you've got a Tycoon package, which is 5,000 euros, that can earn from all areas of income up to 35,000 euros per week, which is 7 times its value. So it's value on a daily basis, effectively. What would happen though if you're a real leader and you go out and find 5 people and help them find 5? It may take you a while. What if it takes you 6 months? What if it takes you 2 years? It doesn't really matter. 18,000 euros a week just in matching bonus, okay? So as I say, some people, even before we've launched the company properly, are already making more than this in matching bonus. Phenomenal. Startup bonus. In your first 30 days, you get a further 10% of all your direct sales, providing you sponsor or sell more than 5,500 euros worth. Well, again, what would that be? That's like 1 Tycoon and 1 trader package. And it's like getting now 20% on all your first 30 days sales. Now, if the money didn't excite you, we've got a recognition and rewards program. How about this? And these are quite easy to achieve too. I mean, Sapphire, really anyone can get 7,000 volume and be matching bonus qualified. But really, it starts kicking in with nice, items like an iPhone 6 on a very low volume here, 10,000 points of your weaker leg, and sponsor 2 Sapphires. Then next level up would be a MacBook Air. The Diamond Trip is really a holiday of a lifetime, somewhere exotic like say Monte Carlo or the Maldives or wherever, somewhere you've always wanted to go but never really got round to. Then we're getting into Rolexes and gold Rolexes. We already have a couple of people qualified for these so early in the business. But the number one position here is the Crown Diamond, which gives you €500,000 in Aurum gold coins in your name in the vault in Dubai. One Life Points. This is another thank you gift from the company. It's really like a loyalty program, or it's like Air Miles, or Nectar Points, or something like that. You don't have to do anything. It's really just our thank you to you for joining the company. Everyone who joins the company after you add, as you see the numbers growing. You see we're already between 25 and 50,000 members. So these numbers are adding up in your back office on a daily basis. And you'll be able to trade these in for luxury items and holidays. The Aurum gold coins, as I mentioned, this is also another free item you get within your package. This is stored for you in a vault in Dubai with this company called Aurum Gold Coin. And every coin they mine, they back up with 1 milligram of solid gold. So as a tycoon trader, again, you've got 2.5 grams of gold in your name, and you can sell that, you can trade that on the trading platform. And lastly, the One Card. People ask, how do I get paid? Well, this is one of the ways. And one of the ways is you can sign up for the One Card MasterCard. I think the application form is going live this week, and you'll be able to register and then just simply withdraw your funds from any ATM around the world. The other way you can get paid, of course, is you can have your commissions and bonuses wired to your bank account wherever you are. And the third way that many people are already using is when you have commissions and bonuses in your online account, your cash account, they simply go into that and use that account to purchase a gift code, which they sell to new members. Those new members, of course, give them cash. That way they get the money out of the system very, very quickly. So those are really methods of how you can get paid. Now, how do you pay for your package? Well, the company actually accepts credit cards up to 530 euros, so up to trader value. It accepts China Union Pay up to Pro Trader, which is 1,030 euros, and of course, that's on a daily basis. And but most people are wiring in their money or buying gift codes from other members, and that's one of the ways it's growing so fast. When you want to know what are the methods, how do you send your money, where do you send it, all of the payment options come up when you log in and you go to pay. It finds out which country you're logging in from, and then it gives you the different payment options according to where you're based. So it's very simple. The software does a lot of it for you. So what's next? Well, if you're not already a member of OneCoin, I strongly suggest you get involved. This is the year of the OneCoin. Everybody who gets in now, in my opinion, is going to make an absolute fortune over the next 12 to 24 months. You really cannot go wrong the way this company is going. 35,000 members in the first four and a half months. Really, it can't be wrong. And with someone like Dr. Ruja running the company with her reputation and her banking and legal expertise and background, I think you could be certain that you're in really safe hands. Now we have our mining event launch extravaganza in Hong Kong next week. The 20th is when we start mining the OneCoin. I know many people are attending from around the world. They're coming from, obviously, from China, from Vietnam, from Europe to attend that event. There's still time to come to the event. I'm not sure if all the tickets are sold. If they're not, you need to be there. You want to be there. In fact, the first 60,000 coins that are being mined are actually going to be given away to members of the audience. And so what a great way to kick off the year, in my opinion. So I'm wishing all of you great prosperity and good health, and I'll see you on the next call. I do these calls every Tuesday and Thursday, and use them to build your business. Use them to invite your guests, to invite your new members, so they can hear live someone explaining to them to the business. You know, you might not know how to explain this because it might be new to you. It was new to me once. It's new to all of us at some point. So use other people's expertise, use other people's knowledge to explain this to your new prospects. You know, it might be too much for you to understand yourself, and it doesn't matter. That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. So thank you so much for attending. I look forward to seeing you on the next webinar. Good night.